A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. And Jesus said to the crowds, "Everything that the Father gives to me will come to me, and I will not reject anyone who comes to me, because I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. And this is the will of the one who sent me, that I should not lose anything of what he gave me, but that I should raise it up on the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have eternal life, and I shall raise him up on the last day." The Gospel of the Lord. Well, hello and good day to you. It's old Father Francis back again on this very special Sunday, as we celebrate All Souls Day. And actually this weekend we celebrate, the two feasts that go hand to hand, All Saints and All Souls. But today, is being Sunday, the liturgy focuses on All Souls. That's all of us, the ones that are part of the church militant, and actually the church expectant. More importantly, the All Souls that have gone before us. But as they have gone before us, we will also follow in their footsteps. In other words, that's another way of trying to say very maybe delicately that we don't get out of this world alive. That is as lovely and as wonderful and as joyful as this world can be, and on many occasions. This is, as one Christian author has put it, heaven's waiting room. This is sort of like the test drive. It's the dry run before eternity. And we would do well, all of us would do well to remember that, because if we think that this is the end-all and the be-all, and we kind of conduct our lives in such a way that we in the end become strangers and aliens to Jesus, then we run the risk of, sad to say, being eternally separated from him. And that's maybe the sobering message that we might want to talk about, focus on for the month of November, as we kind of commemorate the month of November as the month of All Souls now. In the last few weeks, I know I have shared my opinions and my perspectives on the nature of the church and where it seems to be, where it seems to be going, or at least where the dialogue is at today. And I saw something on one of the other. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but I have some YouTubers that I do subscribe to. And although I don't exactly totally agree with them, I like their message for the most part. And I think they're good presenters, and I listen to them. I might subscribe to their channel. I may not subscribe to their philosophy, but there are certain things that I find that are attractive and I think that are good. One of those is a young woman from Australia. She's known as Freely the Banana Girl. And I've never mentioned anything about her in any of my videos. But Freely is a very outspoken vegan person, and promotes a healthy lifestyle. And again, I'm all into healthy lifestyles. I'm not 100% I would not consider myself a vegan. I'd be disingenuous if I tried to promote myself as such a person. But the thing is that I like her positive message for the most part. And again, I'm not recommending that you go check out her channel. Some of the things that she talks about, she's very free in her expressions, and some of the language that she uses may not be appropriate for all viewers. So, but today I saw a video where she was very giving some good advice, and basically she says, if you're going to be a YouTuber, and I've been on YouTube now for over 6 years, I think maybe even 7 years, I stopped counting a couple of years ago. But she said that, there are a lot of people that will get on your channel and say evil, bad things and give you a thumbs down and sometimes, be really horrible. But she says, don't let the haters get you down. And I think that's true for all of us. We need to not let the people that disagree with us get us down. Now, why do I say that? Well, in the last few videos, I think I made it clear that the world seems to be going in a completely different direction than the church. And there are people who now subscribe to some philosophies and some things that the church will never truly ever be able to embrace. And we know what all the hot button issues are. I don't think I even need to say them anymore. But the fact is that the church, yes, welcomes everybody, but the church also challenges all of us, no matter what state in life we're called, to reevaluate that state in life. And if it's not in keeping with the gospel of Jesus Christ, if it's not in keeping certainly with the understanding of divinely revealed truths that we have received through the sacred scriptures and the teaching authority of the church, then we have to make a decision. Even if that decision is a hard one, we can't try to say, well, if we can just force the church or we can force society to accept our understanding of how we are and say you have to accept us, then we come to, I think, the heart of the issue that makes it very difficult for the church. The church now sees the modern world, kind of just going off in a completely different direction, and we're kind of scratching our heads, and part of us are saying, well, wait a minute, come back, we want to talk to you. And I started thinking about this because even the Synod on the Family is kind of trying to be, I think it's certainly, the purpose of the Synod is not, I don't think it's trying to seek compromise with the world, but I think that there's a genuine desire, as Jesus says in this gospel, that everything the Father has given to me will come to me. Okay, the church recognizes that yes, we have an obligation to be the if you will, the shepherd of truth to the world, and we have to make sure that we are doing that job. We are trying to bring the world into salvation, not just to join a church. I think that we need to maybe kind of clarify that. We're not trying to call people to join a club, We're not trying to get membership into a society, sorority, or fraternity, per se. We are trying to win the world with the salvation message of the gospel. That's what we're trying to do. And just like any time you join a group, there are prerequisites. You got to meet a certain standard, or at least be willing to abide by, if you will, the rules. And again, that's kind of falls on some probably deaf ears, because people don't want to hear about rules and regulations and things of that nature. Qualifications, if you will. Now, all of us are qualified because we're sinners. That's first and foremost needs to be said. But the beauty of the message of the gospel of Christ, and we learned this today and yesterday through the feast of the All Saints and All Souls, is that yes, we are all called just as we are, but we have to recognize that we are called to transformation and change. The second reading, I'd like to also read this today. It says, brothers and sisters, are you unaware that we who were baptized into Christ Jesus were baptized into his death? Got to hear that. Okay? We were indeed buried with him through baptism into death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, we too might live in newness of life. You see, we are called to die to our former selves. God welcomes all. God, calls all of us. But now those who are called have a choice. We all have that choice. We have to now evaluate, examine our former lives and say, is this lifestyle, philosophy, whatever it is it in keeping with the message of Jesus? Is it in keeping with the message of the divinely revealed truths throughout the centuries, millennia, I dare say, that have been revealed as this is authentic Christianity and this is not? There's a counterfeit Christianity too. So this is a very challenging thing. And so although the church seeks to, I saw an interesting article how the Sistine Chapel is now relit with some new lighting, which makes it even more beautiful and spectacular. I think that's has always been the ideal behind Vatican II, is to make the gospel message appear in all of its glory, its brightness, its beauty, its convictions, to where people, find it irresistible. I think, you look at the saints, and many of the saints were, whether they were crooked people or wealthy people or indifferent people, the gospel was so beautiful. The message of Jesus was so attractive that everything else paled in comparison. What did you want more than anything? Once that gospel message became real to you, you wanted to know Jesus. And you were willing to sacrifice anything and everything that got in the way of that. I've met many people, and they were convinced that, regardless of whatever their lifestyle was or their politics were or what they desired in life, they were willing to sacrifice it all to know Jesus. And right now there are a lot of people that say, I like Jesus and everything, but I want him to accept my lifestyle. I want him to accept my philosophy. I want him to, come to terms with who I am. Well, I don't think it works that way. And so this morning, as I was kind of pondering this really difficult problem with the church, in the modern world, I was reminded once again of the beautiful, challenging passage in John's Gospel, where many of the disciples who were following Jesus, when he came down and told people how we know him authentically, it's through the breaking of the bread. It's through eating his flesh and drinking his blood. Those statements right there are just like, what are you talking about? And Jesus makes it very clear that he is being very, very, not just, he's being literal in a sense. He's being very theological, of course, and he's being very sacramental. But there's a real sense to what he's saying. It's not just symbology, because they kind of, well, you mean symbolically kind of thing. You're talking metaphor. You're talking you're talking in symbology here. No. He means you must really eat his flesh and drink his blood. And many disciples, we are told, said, this is a hard saying. Who can endure it? And notice that Jesus didn't say, guys, you misunderstand me. I'm not talking, I'm just trying to give you speaking poetically here. No, he doesn't do that. And many of the disciples said to him, this is a hard saying, and, who can endure it? And it says later that many of them, not a few, not some, but many of them walked away. And of course, Jesus turns to the others, the more intimate ones, the 12, perhaps a few others. And he says, and you, do you also want to walk away? And they said, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. And that's the decision. See, the church can open its arms, and I believe it has opened its arms to all people. Whatever your lifestyle is, your orientation is, your politics is, your philosophy of life is, your credo of life is. when we come to Jesus, we have to be willing to lay that down if it gets in the way. And I think a lot of people today are unwilling to do that. So the question, my friends, is, are you going to follow the example of the saints and sacrifice everything for the knowledge of Christ? Or are you going to hold on to what you believe is right? And I would submit to you, be willing and open to challenge yourself and allow the gospel to really open you up to a new way of life. And that life will lead to eternal life in the end. May God bless you today. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.